audio.
There.
We're going to.
There's a poor little girl. Okay. On your butt so we can see you.
No, it's a group of 8 people. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, everybody, so we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. So just so you know, you have about 5 minutes before we'll get started, okay? Great, see you in a bit.
And if you want to change the view, it's up here. I have it on speaker view, so
That's
if
fine.
he's talking, you'll be looking at him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. Have fun,
Everybody-
guys.
Everybody's a little bit closer than us, but that's okay. Leave it. Don't mute. Did you mute it? Please don't mess around with it, okay? Did you mute it?
Mute button's on the left.
I know. Don't mute it.
So jealous. Have a good time.
Just a reminder, everybody needs to be present with their guardian the entire time. So your parent or guardian has to be with you in the room the whole time.
Because you're gonna have to do something. Just let's just I'm go get your brush. What's this?
Chat.
Did I click on it? Won't have.
You'll just see what everyone is saying. Like they're saying, we're so excited.
Don't mess around. Don't mess around.
Why can't I just
Did you mute it? I want to hear.
you're just
I don't care. I don't want to mute it. Please don't. Now it seems quiet. You did something.
Mom, it's only, oh my God, it's muted. It mutes your voice. If it's muted, it only mutes your voice. Everyone else's stays the same, just everyone else is muted.
Where did I go?
Oh my God.
Shit, go back.
It's just up top. Click Zoom meeting. Chat. You want to chat?
I just want to read them. Right, me. Yeah.
There you go. Unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be starting in a minute. Okay, so we're going to get started. I just want to make sure everybody is, I can hear everybody. So we're just going to go through and test the mics first, and then I'll put everybody on mute. So let's see, we're supposed to have Cash.
Raise your hand.
Okay, great. So I can hear you guys. So that's Vicky, Short, and Cash.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Did you
perfect.
unmute it?
Yes.
Put you back on mute for right now. Thank you. I can hear you well. Okay, then we've got Kaylee and River. River and Kaylee.
Hi.
Hi, okay, so I can hear you. Perfect. So that's that. Put you back on mute for right now. Then we have Presley and Melanie.
Hi, it's
Hello.
Presley, Mia and Melanie.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, I'll put you back on mute. And then we're supposed to have Abby and Jen. Okay, hi. Actually, can we test your mic out again, please? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, okay, that's a lot better. Yep, hi, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Thank you. We'll put you back on mute. And then do we have Sherry, Everett and Sherry?
Yes, we're here.
Hi.
Hi.
Wonderful, thank you. Be with you in a moment. Can just make sure. And then do we have Vinny and Kristen?
Yep.
Hi.
Hi, it's
Hello,
Chris, but yeah, and Vinny.
Vinny and Chris, okay. And then do we have Ida and Joe? Hello? Unmute you, Ida and Joe? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, great, yep. Looks like you guys are fine. Hi, hello, can you hear you one more time?
Hello.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And then Jasmine and Julie?
Hi. Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, great. Okay, great. So, great. So we're going to, we have Jackson here too. So, okay, you're all set, I think. So, all right, great. So we're going to get started. So, so this is how we're going to do. And first off, welcome to our first children group event. We haven't really ever done this before. The reason we decided to offer this, I decided to offer this is I had so many parents that were messaging and saying that they wanted to have something that they could bring to their children. And so, you know, they had children that were kind of interested in this type of event. So we're excited, you know, excited to do this. So let me just see here. Great. So this is going to be the format of the evening. I thought a little bit about how to do this because it is a little bit of a different dynamic. I just did want to say one thing, just with full transparency, that a couple of parents had asked if they could bring second and third kids. And I had told them no, because we only had, I figured it was, you know, that would be kind of too much dynamic. So if you have another child with you besides the one that signed up, you're welcome to have them come and listen. It wouldn't really be fair to the other participants to have, you know, some people with 3 children on, some people with 1 on, you know, so that's why I didn't do it that way. And so it really is for 1 child with their adult. So if you have another child with you, that's totally fine. I'm just going to ask that that person is probably not going to be a part, and I don't want, you know, I want them to understand that. So, you know, they can maybe sign up for a future one or something, but just for this one, that didn't feel fair to me. If somebody has 4, you know, so there was actually somebody who was going to sign up and she had 5 children and she wanted to be like 1 spot. I don't think that would really be fair to somebody that has 1 child on. So that was the decision that I made. So anyways, we're going to get started. And the way that we're going to do this is, I thought long and hard about it. And the way I decided is that because, some of the participants are a little bit younger and things like that, I decided the way we're going to do it is in a sort of a traditional virtual circle, which in the times of having COVID, I've been doing a lot of these. So normally what we do is we just sort of start and we just kind of open up, and I just do readings, and then we put everybody on mute and we ask, and then you can ask questions. I thought about it, and for this format, I don't think that that's really going to work as well. So what I decided is to actually sort of do an order to things. And so what will happen is it'll be the same situation, but rather than just kind of going all over the place and doing it more spontaneously, what we're going to do is everybody's going to get a little bit of allotted time. So I've allotted everyone to get about 10 minutes of reading time. And that will give us enough time to get through all the participants and to also leave plenty of time for questions. So I thought that was a nice little format to do things. So what will happen is we'll go in a certain order. I'm actually going to tell you the order. And then what we'll do from there is we'll kind of go through and then we'll take time for questions. So then if you have a follow-up question or things like that, I'm going to ask that during the reading portion, when I'm doing the reading, it would be great if you can come up with, and I'm actually going to give you a little time to do that in a second here, but it would be great if every participant, the children, had maybe a question or a topic that they wanted to ask about. You could even have 2 topics that you want to ask about. You could ask about somebody in spirit. You could ask about something, an experience that you've had. You could ask about something about your soul purpose, or something about something that's going on in your life. The focus of today is going to be more connecting to loved ones in spirit, okay? So we're not going to do a lot of psychic work, though it is possible that something that might come up. So if you had a question about a loved one that you wanted to hear from, or an experience that you had, I know somebody had signed up because their daughter has expressed that she feels very connected to certain loved ones. If you have a fur baby, a dog, a cat, a horse, whatever, bunny that you want to hear from, we could do that. I want to steer away from psychic type of questions, which are more predictive or, things like that. You're welcome to sort of ask out something like that, but I would like to focus a little bit more on loved ones, and that'll be up to my discretion if I'm going to answer a question that's more of a psychic type of question. So those things, like I said, everybody will get about 10 minutes. And as far as the parent or guardian, the parent or guardian will be there more to assist, help the child understand, what's going on, talk about it with them after, validate things, explain things to them. So the reading will not be directed to the parent. So for example, if I say, your father in spirit, I will be referring to the father of that person. So that's kind of the way of the child. So that's my reference point is going to be that. So parents and guardians are here more just to kind of help them process, help them come up with their questions, things like that. We should also have the time at the end for questions. We should have a little bit of time for questions. And I don't know if we'll have a ton of time, but we should have a little bit of time at the end for questions. So if you would like to chime in, parents or guardians, at that point with, a question or something like that, or something that maybe your child was maybe too shy to ask, you can definitely do that. But for the purposes of the reading, it'll be more focused on the child. Okay, so we're going to get started. Thank you all for being here. I also was going to say too, and I just want to be super careful because we do have children involved here. This is going to be recorded, okay? And I will be sending a recording of this to everybody. My request and the request of everybody else here in this group is that it's only for your own private viewing. Okay. Now, if there's if you do not want your, if you don't want to be on there, you can turn off your camera and I can do the reading without, I do not need your camera on to do a reading. I just want you to understand that I do not need that. So again, this is a very sacred and special event that we're doing. I've never done one of these before. And I want that everybody is treated with respect here. So when you get the recording, it's only for you and your child. Okay, it's or and it's not for obviously the parents and guardians signed up for this. So the recording will go to you guys. But I am going to ask that it's not sent around to people or shared with people or anything like that. And I just want to say, we're going to actually start the recording from this point so I can put it on pause. But if you do not want to be recorded with your face, that is fine. You can go off of, you could turn off your camera. You don't have to have your camera on. But again, I trust that everybody's going to make a wise decision and not be, sending out videos to people or something like that. That's, so it's only meant for you. There's no, sharing it with friends, forwarding it to people, posting it anywhere. This is a very special thing that we're doing and stuff. Okay. So does anybody have any questions before we begin? Everybody feels ready, pretty much ready to go and stuff. Okay, so we're going to get started. So I'm going to give you guys actually a minute to come up with what you, a minute, actually, I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And this is something maybe you could talk about with your parent or guardian, you're welcome to, but I'm going to give you 2 minutes to come up with a couple of topics that you want to ask for when it's your turn to speak with me. They can be a certain person you want to hear from in heaven, a certain question you have about the other side, a certain thing that you want to understand in your life. Whatever you want to ask about is fine. If it's not an appropriate question, we'll just deal with that at that point. So that's what we're going to do. So you have about a minute or two to get, I just want to have those questions ready so that when I pull you up, you've already thought about it and reflected about it with your, so we'll have about a minute to do that. Then we're going to do a quick intention and then we're going to get started. So, okay, so you've got about a minute to kind of work on that. If you want to talk about it with your adult, and then we're going to get started in just about a minute here. Your topic could be even just you want to hear from a certain loved one. That it could be as simple as that. Remember also when we start the readings that because potentially a lot of the people that are on the call tonight are sort of younger, you may have lost not as many people. So somebody could actually come through for you that you haven't met before. And that's also why we have our parents on here to kind of help with that as well. Okay, so we're going to get started. And we're going to start by setting an intention here tonight, and we're going to get started. By the way, I did want to say too that I think that there's one extra person that signed on. I think somebody maybe has like 2 devices or something. So that's why there's 9 people instead of 10. But we only have 8 people in the group. Okay, so we're going to get started. So let's have everybody kind of close their eyes and let's take a deep breath. Parents can definitely participate in this too. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath and go ahead and bring yourself to a peaceful place. This can be a place that's real or imagined, but I would like you to go ahead and take a nice deep breath, bring yourself to a peaceful place. Okay, when you bring yourself to a peaceful place, go ahead and invite in anybody in your peaceful place that you would like to hear from. Whether it be a loved one, whether it be a spirit guide, whoever it might be, invite them forward and just kind of welcome them in your thoughts. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can have a moment of gratitude and you can come back here to the room. Okay, guys, so we are going to get started. Like I said, everybody will have about 10 minutes of reading time, and then we'll do some questions if we have time. That'll be a little bit more of an open format. So and by the way, I just want to say too, please know that it's very, very possible that during this experience, you may learn something from listening to other people's readings. So I know it's a little challenging to sit in one place for a couple of hours, but I think that you'll get a lot out of listening to the other readings. And even in my group readings that I do with adults, that often is something that they will tell me so you might find that you'll learn something just by listening to somebody else's reading as well. So I would advise you, if you can, to pay attention. I did want to say this is the format we're going to go. We are going to do Presley, River, Cash, Abby, Everett, Vinny, Ida, Jasmine. So that's the order that we're going. So we're going to go Presley, River, Cash, Abby, Everett, Vinny, Ida, Jasmine. So I just want to let you know, if it is too much for you to sit in one place for a couple of hours, if you kind of know, you can kind of do the math of about 10 minutes each. So let's say, for example, Jasmine, you won't be having a reading for about an hour. So if you do need to take a little break or something like that, you could always do that. But now you kind of know the order. So we're going to do Presley, River, Cash. That'll be about a half an hour. And we'll do Abby, Everett, Vinny, Ida, Jasmine. So that's kind of the order. That is the order we're going to go in. Okay. So we're going to go to Presley first. So let's pull that up. Can you guys unmute?
Hey, Thomas.
Hello.
So Presley is her brother, and he changed his mind. So this is Mia. She's
Okay. Hi,
gonna-
Mia. Nice to meet you. Did you have something that you wanted to ask about, or is there something that you wanted to know about or anything?
What do you want to talk?
Why do we see spirits?
Why do we?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to ask, or is that the main thing you want to ask about?
Main thing.
Okay. How old are you?
6.5.
Okay. Do you see spirits?
Sometimes.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to let me ask you this: do you ever see your grandmother?
No.
Do you have a grandmother that's passed away?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I would tell you. So first off, and maybe we'll go into this a little bit more. So first off, just like you and I are sitting here talking to each other, and you can see me and I can see you, and you can see that I have like a beige shirt on, and you can see color of my hair, and I can see you, and I can see your gray shirt. There's also a lot of things going on around us that we can't see right now, right? So, there's a lot of things that are, so for example, this candle right here, but this is made up of all different particles and little atoms. And if you went in with a microscope, you could see all different things in it. But when you look at it, it just looks like a black candle, So one of the things is that with spirits, with the spirits of people is there's energy and spirits everywhere, and some people are more sensitive to seeing those things than other people are. And actually, one of the things that I have found in researching this is that children tend to be more open to seeing and feeling spirits. The reason is that a lot of times as people get older, they might have certain belief systems, or they might be told certain things, or they may be affected by the opinions of other people. Children are not as sensitive to that. They are a little bit, but they're not as much, especially when they're, like your age, where they have kind of a more of an openness, is the best way I can explain it. So a lot of people when they're younger are more aware of spiritual activity, loved one spirits. Now, again, there may be spirits that you see sometimes that you can't immediately recognize, or you don't know who they are. And sometimes that can be scary for somebody. Somebody might see a spirit that they don't really know that well, and so they feel like, why is that spirit with me? But you also have to remember too, that we have guides and we have angels. So you can definitely have spirits that you knew, but you may have spirits that visit you that are maybe not ones that you knew that well. The main thing is to just remember that at the end of the day, you're always in control of what you see, feel, and hear. So if you see something, for example, that's kind of scary, you could always set the intention and say, I don't want to see that, or I don't want to feel that, or I don't, I'm not, that's because ultimately you're in control of your own thoughts and things like that. So let me ask you a question. I know you didn't ask about this as much, but when you were asking me, when I said about your grandmother, so you have a grandmother that you knew that went to heaven, or that you have a grandmother that you know that passed away? Is that true? Okay. Okay. So I just want to say what I feel is that she has a very, very strong energy. And she's actually with you a lot. I feel that I feel that she's actually, with you a lot. And I think that she has, it's interesting because one of the things that she's explaining to me is, I think she must have been very sick at the end of her life, and had a lot of sickness. And I'm getting the feeling that she does not want to be thought of as sick anymore. I feel like one of the things is that she's saying is that she's healthy now, because you have to remember also when people go to the spirit world, if they had illness or sickness or things like that, that does not go with them to the other side. So they no longer have that. And so in heaven, you are literally like the healthiest version of yourself. You know, you are the best version of yourself. If you had depression here or cancer or something, that kind of leaves you, and you don't have that anymore. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, your grandmother kind of, you know, I think that she is a little bit around you. And also I want to say too, I feel that people on your side of the family, yourself, your mother, your grandmother, I feel like you guys are more of a sensitive type of people. And I feel like you have kind of a sensitivity. And so you may be more prone, you know, to hearing or connecting to, you know, spirits or things like that. So, Mom, do you have anything you want to jump in with, or anything that maybe you think Mia wants to ask about, or is there anything that you'd like to,
Grandma?
you know, add? Or
She also has a great grandmother that she was pretty close with, and she talks about her a lot.
Mhm.
Just wondering if maybe I'm not sure if she remembers seeing her, but she talked about, right after she passed, she talked about dreaming about her a lot.
Mhm.
So just wondering if there's any message there.
So who is that? Your grandmother?
My grandmother, yes.
Okay. Is she connected to this woman, your mom, or no?
Yes, that's my mom. So it's my mom's mom.
Oh, it's your mom's mom.
Hmm.
Okay.
Which this was her only great granddaughter, and they were like two peas in a pod.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Is she the letter C?
Mhm. Yes.
So the great grandmother is a C name?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, it's interesting. What I feel is that both of these women are I feel like are very strongly around you guys. And you know, around you too, Mia. I mean, like, you know, I'm focusing on you. So I feel like they're both there. This both of them are there. The C one, I think that the C one is, let me just see if I can get a little bit more of her, because I just feel her coming in. Hold on. Yeah, I see her laughing. I see her, I feel that she has a very strong personality. She's just showing me that she felt such a connection with Mia. She felt a really strong connection with her. And it's not like she didn't maybe with some of the other great grandchildren, but there was a very, very strong connection with her. And the dream visits, I think, were more than just Mia. I think it was more than just you having a dream of her, because, you know, we all dream. I feel like those were actual visits that you were having. And I think that was actually your great grandmother. Sort of kind of stepping in to kind of watch over you, or kind of say, hey, I'm here, I'm with you. And so I see these as actual, I feel like these were actual visits. These were actual, I think that this was actually, I think these were true, literal visits and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And dream visits are one of the common ways of, excuse me, after death communication. So a lot of times, they will visit in that way and stuff. So yeah, so Okay, good. Well, we're going to go on to our next person. Again, we'll have time at the end for questions too. So let's go to our next person, who I think is going to be River and Kaylee. Can we unmute you guys?
Hi.
Hello. Let me see if I can see you guys, because for some reason I minimize this. Hold on one second. Is that River? Okay. So anything you want to ask, or is there anything you want to ask or anything?
Go ahead.
I see clear people trying to walk to a door.
Okay, honey.
Window.
Okay. Mom, what was that she said, that she sees people at her door?
Clear people.
That she sees clear people at her door.
Yeah. One
Okay.
time I tried to let one in.
What she said?
One time I tried to let one in.
Oh. Okay. How old are you, River?
Six.
Okay. So so we could talk about that and see if there's any information that comes from that. So Mom, do you think is that a good thing to talk to her about maybe, does she see those a lot, Kaylee?
Yeah, she kind of does.
Okay. So good. So again, I'm going to, I don't know why, I got an allergy thing today. So okay. So let's kind of see what messages there are about this, and we can kind of see. So first off, I'm going to sort of echo what I told the other people, which is that, again, this is the age when you're 6, 7 years old. There's a lot of times a very strong connection to spirit, to loved ones, and things like that. I feel like I want to say when you said clear, when you sort of describe them as clear people, I mean, I feel like, of course, we all have loved ones, we all have guides, we all have animals, we all have different people on the other side. When you said the thing about clear people, what I understood from that is that this is more spirit guides or angels. I actually felt like they were angelic beings. But I also wanted to say simultaneously that I did feel that they're, and also too, I want to say this also, when I connect to you, River, I see you having a really artistic side to you, and I also feel that you are very connected to animals. I think even as you get older, I see you always being drawn to animals or always liking animals. There's a big word that we use is when we say that somebody is an empath. What an empath means is that empaths are highly sensitive people. And I feel like, River, that you are an empath. So what's interesting is that when you say about the clear people, I feel like they're there all the time, and other people, are, they're there all the time. It's, it's not just, but because you have a sensitivity to you are a lot more able to perceive them. I see them as more connected, I feel like, in the angelic realm. I feel like they are very, very protective of you. Kaylee, is River, does she like animals?
Yeah, she likes animals.
Okay. because that was another thing that I was feeling too. I also wanted to say too that there, and we don't have to go into this if you don't want to, but I'm aware of a man in spirit that comes through, and he does feel like a family member. I don't necessarily feel that River was very close to him in the physical world, so I don't know if she actually would have known him. But he
I could have known him.
feels like a
Let's
family.
just talking about me because I really
She wanted to connect with her dad,
Oh, so maybe
But-
that is that.
but they were close in the physical world.
Okay. So so you said her dad passed over?
Yes.
Okay. When did he transition?
January 2020.
Okay. Well, maybe we could see if he would come through. But you're saying they spent a lot of time together they spent a lot of time together in the living world?
Yeah.
So maybe we can ask about him a little bit. Do you know if there would be another man that would be on the other side that maybe she wasn't as close to that?
I know.
that-
Sean.
that might make-
Her uncle Sean,
Okay. Did she know him at all?
she did, but they weren't close.
They weren't close. Okay. And how is he connected to her? Is that her dad's side or your side or?
That's her dad's side.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let's try to actually connect to her dad a little bit, and see if I can get a message from him. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. I assume I will be able to though, because that's a pretty strong relationship. Give me, what is her dad's first name?
Chad.
Chad. I
Yeah.
forgot.
All right, hold on one second. Okay, I want to ask, was this a fast passing or sudden passing?
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like, yeah. Can I ask you also, was this person, because this is what I'm feeling, I feel like he had a really, really good sense of humor, and I feel like he liked to laugh a lot. And do you feel like that would be true, that he had a really good sense of humor, or that he could be kind of like that? Do you think that would make sense to you?
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because I'm getting a feeling about this. Who would he be talking about with the M name?
Melina.
His
Melina.
mom.
He has a daughter with an M name and his mom.
Okay. And I want to also ask you too, he's talking about this, but he's saying that he's saying that there's a lot of aspects of his passing that don't make sense. But one of the things is that he's saying that he's visiting us here today to kind of focus more. So I almost kind of feel like he doesn't really want to go into that necessarily. But he is saying that he realizes that his passing was sort of kind of strange. It didn't really make a lot of sense. I'm seeing him taking River out on the water and being on the water with her. Did they ever spend any time on like lakes or boats or things like that?
Yeah, they fished a lot.
And I want to ask also, because I feel this, is there anything where I would be feeling some of his fishing stuff that you've passed down, or do you have some of his, is there some of his fishing stuff that you, that I would be feeling that you kind of kept for her?
His dad took most of his fishing stuff, but I kept his cooler.
Okay. And is that something at some point that you might give to her or something like that?
Yeah, I would give it to her and his clothes, some of his clothes.
Okay. And I want to say also too, I feel like he's showing me this, but he's talking about something where he's been with River and drawing with her. So I don't know if I don't know. River, do you like to draw a lot, or do you do a lot of drawing?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think he actually is saying that and the other thing is he's saying that he's very much at peace on the other side. I feel like when you think about his passing, or when you reflect on his passing, it sort of seems, very sudden, very abrupt, very much like you don't know what happened, and some of it doesn't make sense. But when I connect to him, one of the things that he's saying is that he's kind of bringing up that it's like he's saying that he wants you to know he didn't suffer at the end. And again, I get this feeling of more peace. He's at peace. He tells me something about sending a sign with butterflies. And I don't know if do you guys ever get any signs with butterflies at all?
Yeah.
I named one.
What? Oh, she named one?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So just so you know, when I'm connecting, I get this feeling. But I feel like, yes, he actually does send butterflies sometimes. Now I want to ask you, because one of the things that he's showing me, the M daughter, is he not as close to her, or are they not as close or something, or
Right.
okay. Okay. And so you guys don't see her as much or something?
No.
But I actually see him sometimes in like I see him with the coloring. I feel like the coloring or the drawing or whatever this is, I see him doing this coloring and drawing, and I feel like he likes to he really takes an interest in this. And I feel like whenever she's doing that, River, whenever you're drawing or something or coloring, I actually see him in the room with you. Can I ask you, because he keeps talking about this, did he have not a lot of hair, or did he have a bald head?
Yeah.
Barely any
He
hair.
was bald.
Bald, yeah. Because he's kind of giving me that, it's almost like he's maybe a little bit kind of joking about that, or kind of joking around. But it's really important that I tell you this, that he is very much in a state of peace, and he wants you to know that he's not, there's no sort of like suffering on the other side, or not being at peace on the other side. I mean, he's giving me the feeling that he is at peace on the other side. So that felt important for me to tell you that. And I just feel like I needed to, tell you that he is at peace on the other side. So, okay, good. We're going to go to our next person. Again, we'll have time for questions a little bit later, but let's just make sure we get everybody with their. So let's go to Cash and Vicky.
Did you unmute it? Okay. Hello.
Hello.
You gonna say hi?
Hi.
Hold on one second. Okay, great. So we're back with you. Your name is Cash?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hi, Cash. Did you have a question you wanted to ask?
Mm-hmm.
You want
Okay. What would you like to ask about?
Is my mommy gonna visit me soon?
Okay.
He wants to visit in a dream. Everybody's had dreams, but him.
Except me.
Okay. So, Vicky, what is this? Your
My
niece?
grandson. It's a boy. He's just got lots of hair.
Yeah.
It's my grandson.
Oh, it's your grandson. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to hear from his mommy.
Okay. And what is that? Your daughter?
My daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, Cash, and so you're wanting to hear from your mom, and And you're feeling, what do you feel like you don't, what do you feel like you don't hear from her a lot or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we can certainly ask and stuff. I do want to just start, and I'm going to tune into this a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit more information. But I do want to tell you that dreams are only, that's only one way of sort of visiting, right? So there can be a lot of different ways that a loved one might visit. And so I always tell people that it's not, there's, that's one way, but there could be other ways that she may visit. So first off, when I'm connecting with your mom's energy, I want to see, first off, before I can really answer your question per se, I want to just see if I can get a little bit of her essence and her energy. And that's important because I have to kind of make sure that I am connecting with her. I feel like I can, so I'm not really worried about that, but I just want to make sure that I can kind of bring in her energy and connect to her. So first off, this is what I'm feeling when I connect to her. I see her as a very bubbly person, personality. I feel like
Spit in my eye.
does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say when I'm connecting to her too, that I feel like she was very much like this, that she, like I said, it feels big personality, big, big energy. And I definitely feel like she was definitely like that and stuff. So that makes sense, right?
Definitely.
She's also showing me the letter J. And I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I keep seeing the letter J. Would that make sense to you at all?
Because her name is Jessica.
Okay. And I just want to say another thing too. And this could be kind of for both of you guys. But I did want to say that there's a man coming through. And Cash, I don't think that you were as close to this person, with your mom, there was such a strong connection. So I don't know who this person is. He died many years ago, but he does watch over you from heaven. And I feel when I connect to him that he is, I almost want to say with him that he, I think it might be your father, Vicky. Is your
Okay.
father passed?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask you when I connect to him, so he didn't know Cash, right?
No.
Did he die like many years ago?
Yes.
Okay. Did he know your daughter?
Oh, yeah. They were close. Very close.
Because I wonder if that's why he's coming through. And let me ask you this is a little bit more related to him, but it could be from your daughter too. Why would your dad talk about weekend trips, taking the family to Lake Erie?
Oh my God.
What just happened?
Yeah, that was our life. We were very poor growing up, but that was the one thing. We all piled into the car and we spent the weekends at Lake Erie. And then even the wealthier, kids, they would prefer to go with us for the weekend and do the expensive things,
And so your dad would kind of your dad would make a whole trip out of that and stuff?
Oh yeah. He eventually got a camper up there so we could go anytime we wanted.
Okay. So it was like a big family to do thing and things like
Oh yeah.
that. Okay. So I think one of the things is again, just to remember that even though, again, I think obviously, you guys want to hear, you want to hear from the J name, Jessica. But, these other people can come through too. And I want to say, what's interesting, this is what I tell people sometimes. Sometimes I actually, this happens a lot with parents. So I'll have parents that have lost, let's say parents that have lost a son, or parents that have lost a daughter, and they'll say things like, how come I don't get as much visitations from my child, but other people do? And, you know, sometimes when you're grieving and you're just in sort of a really bad emotional place, it sometimes is a little harder for them to come through. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive because
It would make
we would
sense.
come a little bit more. But I do feel that she is understanding that she, you know, about I feel like she definitely is understanding about wanting to visit. And also she's telling me too, that she is around you a lot, Cash. Can I ask you, because she's showing me this, do you understand, because I keep feeling about this, but was there times that I would be feeling, I guess, you know, Vicky or Cash, you can either answer this, but I feel like there was times that she was separated from you guys and she didn't want to be, but like, that's what had to happen. I don't know, were there times where you guys were like, I'm not just like, I know everybody's apart sometimes in the day or something, but I
No,
mean,
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
she's talking about having to be separate, but that she's, and she also is saying too, that she was very focused on trying to make her life better.
Oh yeah,
And does that make sense to you?
100%.
And I see also when I connect to her too, she's talking about doing her makeup, doing her hair, coloring her hair, dyeing her hair. I think that she was really into that type of stuff. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, yeah. She was a pretty girl, just really trying to, you know, just show me that she's doing good, and you know, put on
Right.
that.
Yeah, and I want to say also too, Vicky, I know that she also is wanting to kind of give a thank you to you, and she's telling me that you've really helped a lot with Cash, and since she has transitioned,
Mhm.
have you been very involved with him?
I've helped her raise him since he was born. But yeah, I'm his parent, you know, I step in, fill in. I'll never fill completely, but you know, as much as
Right.
I may.
So you're pretty involved with him though, and spend a lot of time with him and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's he and I.
Every
connected.
day.
Yeah, because I feel like I definitely sense that she sees that and stuff. It's interesting because she's telling me that as far as visiting more and stuff, you know, I always tell people that there is a two-way communication. So just as you are communicating, you know, they are communicating to you. You can also communicate to them. So even your thought or your, you know, your statement about, you know, you'd like to, Cash, you know, have a dream with her, or you'd like to connect with her a little bit more in a dream. Just that alone, just putting that intention out, putting that sort of wish out there, that can definitely help with things. And so what I would say is, yes, she will do that. And I feel like she will visit more, and she will connect with you more. I feel like she's right around you. So I think that you may be getting signs from her that are not through dreams.
Oh yeah, I believe we've gotten a lot of signs. I mean, me especially, that he's gotten them when we go for walks. There's certain things that are consistently happening, and you know, things with you know, just other stuff that are happening that like you can't explain. You know,
Right.
with electric and music and just
Okay, yeah, does she send songs or something?
yes, yeah, all the time.
And then she's also talking about, I guess, her two sisters, or
Oh my God.
trying to help her two sisters, or I don't know. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, she has
Yes.
twin sisters that are like his sisters too, more than his.
Yeah, their names are Michaela and Mackenzie.
Yeah, because I keep feeling that and stuff. And I want to say also too, but yeah, I feel like she is with you guys a lot.
Yeah.
Also talking about like almost like she's talking about dancing and also it's interesting because she did tell me this. She said by the way, are you guys spending time with Erica?
Really? We had been, but how do I say it? I think it was more to keep everyone close to find out more, if that makes sense. I just wanted to keep people close to me so that I could catch them changing stories, or you know what I mean? We don't have any answers, so
Right.
it was more for that reason.
Got you. So there was things, who is Erica? Somebody that was very involved with her?
Just very recently, right before she passed. And she was there the night,
Interesting.
the night before, like, yeah. Just nothing makes sense to me,
Right.
So, and I know she knows more than what she's telling me, and I've given her every opportunity, and I just think, I know in my heart she's not being forthright with me, but it's not going to bring her back, and I know that. So, Jess knows, she knows how I feel. I talk to her all the time. That's why I tell him, just talk to mommy, whatever you want to tell her, whatever you want her to know,
Right.
she can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your daughter and your mother is saying that she definitely, I think with that person, Erica, she definitely perceived that person was, I feel like because Jessica was going through so much, she was trying to create parts of her life that were a little bit more normal. And so I feel like this Erica person came in, it was almost like, okay, now I have a friend. But I feel like she maybe also brought in a lot of negative, so it was
when Jess was doing so good. I mean, she was fabulous. That's why, I mean, it just went from one extreme, like all of a sudden, then yeah.
So I feel like this person it almost feels like, if I can say this, I mean, of course, everybody has their own free will, but
absolutely,
it does kind of feel like she kind of sucked in your daughter, like.
Yeah, everybody has told me that.
Yeah, she kind of pulled her in, and excuse me, I'm not really sure like why she had so much control over your daughter, except I just feel like your daughter was, trying to figure things out and to have a friend, to have a buddy. I think she was trying to kind of have that aspect of things, but
she was alone a lot, just working home. She was getting her license back, doing all that. And this girl picked her up every day, gave her something to do, got her out of the house,
Right.
And so I think it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that helped suck in too.
Yeah. Because it definitely feels like something, I feel like, it's interesting because your daughter does tell me that there was the opportunity for somebody to kind of, I guess, get her help or something. And it kind of feels like they kind of didn't. Does that make sense to you?
There's an opportunity. Well, she because of a certain man that she had in her life, she had changed. She was supposed to have moved with us already. And she had undone those plans. She got everything approved, to move where we were for my husband's job and everything. And because of this certain person, she changed her mind last minute and let him talk her out of it. And I feel had that not happened, she wouldn't have met Eric, just all this stuff, but you can't undo the past. And
right.
But I know how Jessica feels already, because I know where she was in her life. So I already know,
right.
how she feels. The only questions we always had was what she was just, there is a lot of negative involvement between Erica and the ex-boyfriend, and she had broke up with him, and he had made some comments that and she had found out some really negative stuff about him. And I always wondered that if it was just one of those in your face bad choices, or if it was more of more of something more sinister. You know what I mean? And I've forgiven her either way. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's just, no closure. It's really hard. I still 2 years and no autopsy, no toxicology, no nothing,
Yeah,
So
like it was more, I know what you're saying. It does feel like it was something that she was pulled into. I don't feel
that's,
really something that was so much, I guess, malicious, so to speak,
yeah,
But yeah, there's still the same,
just knowing where she was in her life, it was malicious to pull her in, but she
Right.
still had free will.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, guys, we're going to go on to the next.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
We'll have time for questions.
Can you ask real quick? Oh, he wanted to ask real quick if when he had seen a spirit at our back door and it was a female. And he felt it was a negative energy, like something evil. It looked evil. It was when he was younger. And
Yeah, it was blue and I was so scared. I ran to get mom, and when I went back to show her, it disappeared.
yeah, he
I
has
should've-
he has not forgotten about that. He was very young, and yeah, it scared him that bad.
I
So
should have just stayed there and called for mom.
he's just wondering if it was
One sec, Kimber got her
positive
wish.
or negative.
Call her.
Cash, listen, but I'll get it.
Interesting. It does feel more.
We're not living in that house anymore anyway. But
I don't feel like it's around now, but it does feel like it may have been. I mean, there is always negative and positive
oh
energy.
yeah,
So it's just a matter of just, like I was telling the other people, make sure that you're keeping your intentions out there positive, and the more you do that, the better and stuff. So yeah, I think it might have been something that was a little bit more to the negative realm, but I feel like it's not around now.
okay. And one last quick thing. About the proud? He said he wanted to know if his mommy was proud of him. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like she is. And like I said, she's really happy about your guys' connection too. I feel like she's saying that even though she passed, he was so important to her. And she
And vice versa.
literally said that when she passed, when he came into the world, it really helped her a lot. It kind of made her feel like I just feel like she got this sense of,
Sure.
she just how much she really
You hear
needed
that?
to make some changes in her life. So
Yeah, because when you were born, she wanted to change her life and make it better.
yes, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna go to the next people.
Yeah.
Guys. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, we'll have time a little bit more for questions too. So let's go to, if we can, we'll go to let's see here who we've got. Abby and Jen. Okay, hi.
Hi.
Hi, did you have a question, Abby?
So I just wanted to know how, because when I was younger, I used to see, feel connected to spiritual stuff, and I just want to know if I can recognize the signs of seeing that anymore, because it's been less it's gotten less I don't know how to say it.
So you haven't felt as connected to that? You're saying, but
we just wonder if she's blocking them out,
right?
Or, how does she recognize that somebody is, we've been told that certain family members connect with her.
Right. Okay.
And saying, how?
Yeah. And Abby, how old are you now?
I'm 12.
And when did you feel more connected to it?
Maybe when I was 8.
Okay. So it's been more since then. Okay. So, this is what I'm feeling. I feel a couple of things. People are, everybody is kind of energetically wired differently. So everybody kind of has, a different wiring. Some people are, very open to spirit. Some people are more shut down from spirit. Some people are more, they can feel a lot with spirit. Some people don't. I think it's different for everybody. I think everybody has a different aspect of things and connects in a different way. And so, with you, it does look like you have a little bit of a wall up now. I don't think it's anything bad, but I got a feeling that you do have a little bit of a wall up. And I feel like when I'm, I feel like it's something that, yeah, you just, you do have that. But I don't think it's anything bad. I feel that I don't feel like it's anything bad. I just think it's kind of because it looks like before you were almost connected so much that it was almost overwhelming you a little bit. And it was almost kind of taking over your energy a little bit. And now it looks like I feel like your spirit or your soul or whatever kind of did put up a little bit of a wall, because it was just like, okay, I don't want to be plugged in at this level all the time. I don't want to be feeling this all the time. So I do think that your guides and angels kind of did, your guides and angels kind of did pull back a little bit and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. I think that I definitely feel that there is, you do have yeah. I can tell you some of the people that I see around you, and we can see if we can get a connection that way too, and maybe one of them have a message for you. So I do see a woman who was maybe about 60 or 70 years old that died, and she died of breast cancer. I think she died within the last 5 to 10 years. And then I also see a male that's around you. I don't know how, I would say he was maybe 50, and he died of a heart attack or something. I think he died of a heart attack is what I'm getting, because I feel chest pains. Do you understand either of those two people?
Yeah.
Do you understand both of those people?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say also that that it seems like they're both kind of around you a lot. The other thing I also want to tell you too, which I know sounds, I don't know if the people in your family actually talked about it a lot, but one of the things that I'm seeing is that you actually, I don't actually know if it's your mother's side or your father's side, but one of those sides of your family, there actually is, interestingly enough, psychic abilities that are actually in your family. So you actually have had, you actually have this in your family. Now, again, might be things that they didn't talk about it or stuff like that, but there have actually been people in your family. I mean, I feel like when you're going back to it could be like great grandparents or something like that. It might not be people that you know. But so there is kind of I feel like there is a little bit of a kind of an openness to spirit that maybe maybe that you were not aware of or whatever, but I do feel that. I want to ask you also too, let me ask you this, Abby, do you know anybody on the other side that I would be feeling that you were very close to? I'm getting the feeling that this woman was very sick at the end of her life. She was having a lot of health problems at the end, I feel. And she's telling me that I think I also feel like she was very Catholic. I'm getting that would have been like a big thing to her, I think, unless I'm merging something. And I want to, and I'm seeing that her name is like with an R. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. I almost feel like I'm hearing like either like, I think I'm hearing like Ro. I don't know if her name was Ro.
Her name was Rosemary.
Okay. Do you know if anybody ever called her Ro? Maybe I'm just getting the beginning of the name though. But let me ask you this with this woman, what do you remember if was she very Catholic?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm feeling her energy, she's telling me that, I mean, she definitely does watch over you. Excuse me. And she says that, yeah, she says that there's been, she says when I'm speaking to her, that she likes to watch over you, and she feels like if there's anything you can do, I mean, not that you don't do this, but she's saying that she wants you to really kind of listen to her, because she actually does give you guidance. And one of the things that she told me right now is that something about like you're a little bit worried about school right now, or you're trying to figure out everything with school. And I feel like this woman, like I said, when I connect to her, she definitely wants to help you and guide you. She also is talking about something I don't know, you may or may not know about this, but she's also talking about a pin or something about a pin. I feel like she's talking about either a pin that she gave you or a pin that she that she has, or I don't know, something about a pin. And then let me ask you another thing. The man with the heart that died from the heart thing, Abby, I felt that you had a close relationship with him. So that's somebody that you were close to?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you, have you ever gotten any sort of, I mean, again, I don't know if you're aware of this stuff, but have you ever gotten any signs from him through coins?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. And you kind of know that it is, you kind of have recognized that it is him, right?
Yeah, because
The way he does it and stuff like that. Mhm.
it's usually like dimes, and sometimes lights will also flicker as well.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, because he's telling me that he does the coins in very clear, very specific ways, and so he's saying that you totally kind of, you see it, you get it. I feel like when he does that, it's something that you immediately, boom, you immediately connect with it and stuff. So yeah, he's, like I said, with him, he's around you a lot, and I feel that he wants to, kind of continue to guide you, and kind of, he wants to watch over you a lot. Like I said, when I was connecting with him, I feel like he feels that you are, so in answer to your question again about, kind of not feeling stuff or things like that. I don't really think it's like that. I think what it is just that I think that your energy, you kind of shut it down a little bit, or you're kind of not tuned into it as much. But I don't feel like it doesn't mean that you can't get it back or something. You could actually, if you wanted to, focus on it a little bit more, or set a little bit more of an intention or something. You definitely could do that. So, but yeah, I feel, yeah. But yeah, when, and so what do you feel now that do you feel like you don't pick up on it as much?
Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's almost like she just shuts it out. Like we know, in previous readings, my brother has said that he communicates with her, and he communicates with us through coins. And, it's so hard because she says, well, how is he communicating with me? I wish he would tell me. In the thing with the pin was my mother-in-law, and in previous readings this has come up again with pins that she's supposed to have, and we don't know where they are.
Oh, well,
yeah,
the pin thing might maybe that's something that will kind of reveal itself. But one thing I would say for you, Abby, is, yeah, if you are wanting to connect a little bit more to the man with the heart attack or anybody else, one of the things that you could do is just what I would tell any, even my adult clients, which is that you could do meditation, prayer. Sometimes one of the things is it's just as simple as that sometimes we just have so much stuff going on that sometimes we really just don't pick up on certain things. And so sometimes it's just a matter of really kind of just setting our intention that we're ready. And you might get a subtle thing. You might get a song, you might get a feeling, it just depends what you may get, but you may get, different things that sort of connect and, resonate and stuff like that. So I always think that is definitely a way that you can, connect and kind of, bring forward things and stuff. So just try to kind of keep that intention and kind of, focus on that a little bit. And I think that if you keep that intention going, you will get a little bit more signs and things like that. It's just, you have to kind of keep paying attention to it and stuff. And just kind of, like I said, I think what it was is that you were connected a lot before, but you kind of shut it out a little bit based out of fear, I feel. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to hop to another person, and then like I said, we'll have time for questions too. So let's go to Everett, please, if we can.
Hello.
Hello, did you have a question?
Yeah.
What would you like to ask about?
How many angels do I have?
How many angels do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see what I'm feeling. Hold on one second. So I'm going to answer that question kind of more generally, and then I'm going to answer that question more specifically. So the answer to the question in just then I'm going to tune into you, but first I'm just going to answer your question. So the answer to that is that we all have angels, guides, family members that are around us at all different times. And these guides are, some of them have very, very specific jobs. Some of them are more, they're here to, just kind of watch over us a little bit, and they're not really prominent guides. Some are with us all our life. Some are with us only a short amount of time. Some of them are with us, for a little bit of time, and then they leave, and then they come back. It just really depends. So as far as with you, you actually have, I think you have many angels, but I can tell you an angel that's with you, and which is not a human, because angels are not human, remember. So you would have never met your angel in this physical life. And then I can also tell you about another guide that's around you that I think might be a loved one. So you're very connected to Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is a protector, very, very high vibration spirit. And he has chosen you to work with you in this lifetime. So now Archangel Michael is an archangel that really everybody can access, but it feels that he takes a specific interest in you. He definitely is watching over you. He has a specific kind of, love and interest in you. So that's one thing. You also have, Everett, a father figure that's around you. Now, have you lost your father?
Yep.
Okay.
He died.
So he is around you a lot too. Now, I wouldn't use the word, just so we're using the correct wording, so we're using the correct word. I wouldn't say he's an angel, because an angel is not anybody that you knew in life. Their angels are they're like a special, you know, they don't come to earth in physical form. But your father, I mean, same principles of an angel. He, you know, watches over you, he guides you. Your father's telling me that you have felt a little frustrated because you don't feel that you can connect to him as much as you want to. But I feel like you're aware that he's around you, but a little bit that you feel a little frustrated that you can't connect to him as much as you want to. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. You think that's true? Okay. And like I said, he's not saying that he's not around you, but he is saying that it's been harder for you to sometimes, you know, feel him around you as much as you would like to. And one of the things he's talking about is also that it feels like part of the, I don't want to, not issue, but part of it is also he's telling me that when he passed, he was not able to have a proper goodbye. And so I feel like it was not a situation where, you know, you could go and say, you know, kind of like goodbye to him. You know, it was more something that was kind of a shocking thing or a surprising thing or something like that. And so I get that feeling from him. Would you say that that's true? Was it kind of, did you not get to get a proper goodbye, or you didn't get to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because I feel like he's telling me that and stuff. But when I connect to him, and when I speak to him, he's saying that, you know, he knows that it was hard for you because you know, you weren't able to say goodbye. But he says that you know, that he is around you a lot. He's also giving me a memory of something I'm seeing about flying a kite. And I don't know if you guys did you guys ever do anything with a kite? Or I don't know if it's a metaphor that I'm seeing, but
I have flying a kite before.
okay.
Short
Maybe,
kite.
yeah, maybe he's saying that he's seen that or something. I'm not really sure what that means, but he showed me something about flying a kite. Also, just when I'm connecting to him too, I feel like he is, he's, when I connect to him, I feel like he is definitely around you a lot. And one of the things that he's talking about also is that, and you might, maybe, you know, maybe this is something that you can pay attention to, but he's saying that he actually sends you a lot of signs through numbers. And I don't know if you ever get certain, you know, things through numbers, or I don't know if you ever get certain, for some reason, he keeps showing me that. So I don't know if do you ever get signs through numbers or certain things through numbers at all?
Like any particular number?
Yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like he showed me like 1111.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's the way that he's saying that he kind of comes around you, is actually is through that. You know, he says,
His favorite number was 11.
what'd you say?
His favorite number was 11.
His favorite number was 11.
Okay. Okay. So he might be showing me that then. I think that maybe that's part of it then. But I definitely get the sense, like I was saying, when I connect to him, I definitely feel like he's around you a lot. I definitely feel like he is a guide of yours. I definitely feel that he is, you know, yes, he's, you know, he is around you guys a lot. So it's probably more about just, you know, really making sure that you are, you know, connected to him a lot, watching out over him a lot. I feel like he's saying that that's something that he, you know, he kind of wants to just tell you that he's, you know, he's going to keep doing that and stuff. So just kind of make sure that you're, you know, you're doing that and paying attention to that and stuff. He also showed me something about, Everett, do you have a sister?
Yes.
Because I feel like he's saying also that it's really important that you, I'm not saying that you're not, but he's saying that it's really important that you are, and he says that, again, not that you're not, but he's saying just make sure that you're spending, spending time with your sister, being connected to her. He's saying that that relationship is really, really important and stuff. So I think stay close to her, be in her life, all that stuff. It's kind of important and stuff. So I don't know if it seems like you guys are pretty close, but I just felt like that was coming up and stuff. So I don't, so, okay, good. What else do you want to ask? And Everett, so when he was telling me about seeing your dad, when I was seeing about that, do you not feel him around you a lot or something?
No.
Okay, so yeah, that is true then, right? You that is true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't feel him a lot.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. So that's probably why, I think that's probably why he is saying that, because he is saying, yeah, that you don't feel him a lot, or you would like to sense him a little bit more, but you just don't. So, but I want to tell you also, remember, that does not mean that he's not around you. It just means that for whatever reason, it's harder for you to maybe pick up on that or something, but that doesn't mean that he's not around you. I feel like even by you, excuse me, being here to communicate, I feel like he is wanting to try to connect with you even a little bit more. So it may be that sometimes even when you do something like this, if you do something like this, sometimes you will feel more connected to the person after. So that's just something that I'm hearing about too, is, but he's, like I said, he's definitely around you. And he's definitely, definitely a guide for you and watching over you a lot. So, okay, good. Thank you, Everett. We're going to go on to the next person. And remember, we will have some time at the end for questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's go to Chris and Vinny.
Hi, we're here.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, Vinny, did you have something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I was wondering about my two grandparents. I never got to meet them. I was hoping to see about them today.
Okay, that's good. So these are both sets of grandparents?
Yeah. Both sets are gone. Mm-hmm.
Both sets are gone. Okay.
But two he's met and grew up with, and then two he never got to meet. They died before he was born. So.
Oh, okay. So and so you did get to know you did get to know two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, but they're all four are passed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's ask and see which one, maybe one wants to come through, or one, maybe one's with us, or I don't know. We'll have to kind of ask and see.
Okay.
I want to know if there's any with an R name. Do we have any with an R name?
Mm-mm.
An R. Is there one that I would feel, because I do feel there's a man coming through. Nobody I'm seeing with an R. Hold on. And let me just ask you this too. Is there anywhere, I know you didn't ask about this, but I do see a dog on the other side. So I'm just wondering if there, could there be a dog that might come through?
I had a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And with the dog and stuff. Oh, and also I want to tell you this. I feel there's actually a young man that's coming through. So I'm not sure who that is, but I feel kind of like a younger man that's on the other side. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, to me, maybe he
Yeah,
had never met Vinny though.
One of the grandfathers is coming through, and I think that it's Vinny, I think it's your mother's father. Now, I'm getting a feeling with him. I think that you did know him in life. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You know him. And was he kind of a big guy? Like that's how I'm feeling him. Was he kind of like,
Yeah.
and so you got to spend time with him, and I feel like you were close to him. Is that right?
Yeah. Very close.
And I feel like when I'm connecting to him also. Oh, and let me ask you this: who's Cheryl or Sherry or Sharon?
Sharon.
That's my mom.
I never got to meet her.
You didn't get to meet her at all?
No.
Okay, interesting.
But he knows a lot
I was
of
gonna say,
things.
it's interesting. She feels very connected to you. And I
Yeah.
feel like she definitely, if you didn't know her here, then I feel that she got to meet, I don't know. Was her death and your coming into the world, was it pretty close together? Like, did she die and then did you come right after her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
A lot of times I tell people also too, it's interesting, but a lot of people have very close connections to the people who died right before they came into the world. So for example, if you were born, whatever, if you're born, let's just say, whatever, you're born in 2020. But if you had a relative that died 2019, a lot of times those people become very part of your soul groups. And I don't really quite know what that is, why that is. The only thing I can imagine is probably, if you think about it metaphysically, it's like, your soul's preparing to come here and then their soul comes back over. And so it must be some sort of connection like with that. But definitely get the sense that your grandmother and you have a really strong connection. I don't think it is like, it's not like a reincarnation or something like that. It's not like you become you're not your grandmother's soul, but I do feel like her soul is very connected to you. I feel like she watches over you. I feel like you guys have there's some sort of energy between your souls together. And I just feel like it's very, it feels very, very prominent, very strong. I feel like there's a very, very strong energy there. So it's pretty interesting, but it's a pretty, it's a pretty strong dynamic that you guys do have and stuff. So, and I also want to say too, when I'm connecting to this also, I feel that there's a man in spirit that I'm picking up on, who's an M name.
Yeah, that would be my dad.
Okay, your dad, and he's on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they're coming through together. I feel like they are together. And I get a feeling that they are, it feels like they are there together. They're, watching over you. I also am getting the feeling too, okay, interesting. Yeah. So I guess what your grandmother is saying is that what she's saying to me is that she just feels a very strong connection to you. She's always kind of felt this. And it looks like you and her, I guess she kind of is telling me that she kind of knew you were coming into the world, even if she didn't know, like maybe you weren't, conceived yet, but she's telling me that it's almost like she's saying that she kind of always knew she was going to have a grandson, or I get that she's very connected to you. She's also talking about going with you a lot to your, do you play sports?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
So I think that she actually goes, to your sports games. And I think that she's telling me that that's something that she does. So she's actually there and kind of, watching over you and stuff. I feel, yeah, but she's telling me that she met you before you were born. So I think that she did, I think there was some sort of connection with her before you were born. I think that you guys, I think there was I feel like you did, you did connect and stuff. So even if you don't, necessarily remember that, but I think that you definitely, I feel like you definitely did, connect with her and stuff. So, I don't know if that, makes sense to you, but I do feel that. Now, also, I want to say, because I'm feeling this, I feel, hold on one second. Hold on. Do you know who the young person was, or do you know who the young person is? Or I feel like there's a young man coming through. Do you know who that guys would be?
My cousin, he
Okay.
passed when he was 17, but he's come up before. Like, I feel like we were very close, and I was very young when he passed, like 6, but I've always felt connected to him, and he's come to me a lot, like in dreams and readings that I've had. So,
Okay. So yeah, it must be that he has some sort of connection with the both of you, because I don't know, I felt a very strong presence with him. So you think that he is somebody that you guys probably think about or something? Yeah.
yeah.
Was this it feels like this would, I'm getting the feeling that this would have been a very sudden passing.
Yes.
I'm getting the feeling that there would have been something where it's like you didn't get to say goodbye to him. It was that,
Right.
I feel like it was that sudden. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was kind of feeling that when he passed, it was very sudden, very kind of like he didn't get to say goodbye at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the feeling that he's around, and I think that he's, I feel like he's, I definitely feel like he's, paying attention to you, or, connected to you and stuff. So, and also, I'm getting a feeling about this too. I see, hold on. What about also if I felt somebody coming through that would be showing me motorcycles, or somebody, is there anybody that's connected to motorcycles at all?
I think so.
That would probably be Johnny. He has a motorcycle on his gravestone. He loved motorcycles. Yeah. So it could still be him. You think of anybody else?
Yeah.
Who would they?
No, maybe.
No, I think it's him. I think it's the same thing with him. I think he's just coming back through. Okay. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't feel as much with the father side of the family so much. I'm not, but I do feel, now, Vinny, did you know your father's father?
No.
Oh, yeah, because I kind of feel like he's, you never got to meet him or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's such a, do you know with him, I don't know, maybe if you don't know this, but do you guys know if he smoked?
Yeah, he smoked.
Okay. Because I keep getting, is that what he died from?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Lung cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm getting smoking and stuff. So he kind of visits too and stuff. Yeah. It's interesting because one of the things that I'm seeing that they're talking about with you, Vinny, is that they're talking about a lot of, how do I want to say this? Some sort of thing where they keep bringing up about you being very financially successful. And I obviously that's, they're talking about something, but I feel like everybody comes in with certain, everybody comes in with kind of certain karma, certain things. And it kind of feels like with you that you kind of like, it's almost like you came into the world with certain, like you were, certain things. And it kind of just feels like you, kind of have this within you and stuff. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm just getting that sense that you do kind of have that and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I definitely feel like you have some really, some pretty strong connections and stuff. So, okay, good. So let's go to our next person. And then, like I said, we'll have some time for questions. So let's pull up Ida.
Can you hear us?
I can. Mm-hmm. Is that you? Is that Ida?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ida, do you have something was there something that you want to ask about or something?
We have family in London.
Say that again.
We have some family in London.
Uh-huh. And you want to maybe know about them or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I'm feeling and stuff. And give me again, what is your first name?
Ida.
Ida. Okay. So let me see if I can connect to you and see if anything will kind of come through that you can validate. And we'll kind of go from there, okay? Hold on one second. Ida, let me ask you this because I'm feeling this. Sorry, I just want to turn off my phone here because it keeps buzzing. Okay. So first off, I want to ask you, Ida, did you recently lose a grandmother?
Not a grandmother, no.
No.
You didn't recently lose your grandmother?
Yeah, but
not too recent.
Well, how recent, dear?
Last year.
Okay, that could make sense. So your grandmother died last year?
Yeah. Around Christmas.
Yeah, that's recent though, dear. That's only a few months ago. So yes, there's a grandmother coming through that I'm picking up on that's telling me that she died very recently. So you're saying that she died like within the last 6 months or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think she's the one that's coming through. You may have other loved ones that are coming through, but I mean, you may have other loved ones, but they're not the ones that are coming through right now. It's this one that's coming through. And I feel I feel when I connect to her, it feels like she's the one that's coming up. So let's see if we can connect to her a little bit more and get a little bit more of a connection with her, validation with her, what she wants to share with us. So Ida, I'm just trying to understand this. So this is your maternal grandmother, your mother's mom. That's who I feel like I'm connecting to. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your mother's mom has passed. And is she the one that died recently, like a few months ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think she's the one that's coming through. Let's just kind of see here. She's talking about there being some a lot of medical stuff with her at the end, and she's telling me about how there was a lot of medical problems at the end, and I feel like she's telling me that things were, I don't know, kind of not properly diagnosed or something. I don't know if you would know about this. I don't feel like. By the way, when you said about your family, and you said something about you have family in London, I feel like this is the person that's coming through. So your grandmother must have lived in London. Is that right?
Yeah.
And do you understand her telling me that you were having a lot of trouble seeing her at the end? And she's giving me the feeling that it wasn't possible for you to see her at the end like you wanted. I feel like for whatever reason, you couldn't get to see her at the end. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. She's telling me that this is very upsetting to you, that you would have liked to have seen her at the end or had some sort of closure, and I feel like you just were not able to. She's telling me it's not because you didn't want to. I think she's telling me it had to do with, traveling and different restrictions, and you just were not able to get to her. So I'm gathering you don't live in London then. You don't live there, is that right?
No, we're in New Zealand.
Okay, yeah. So that's why, because she says that you guys couldn't get there at the end, not because you didn't want to, but she's saying that, Now, one of the things I'm feeling with her, Ida, is that your grandmother and you were very, very close. You guys had a very close connection. And she's telling me that there was just a natural bond that you had. And one of the things that she's telling me is that you're very sensitive, and you're the type of person who, you worry about everybody. You want to make sure everybody's okay. And what she's telling me is, she says that, it's really important right now. Take a couple deep breaths, and just know that everything's going to be okay. She's saying that for some reason, just with everything going on, I feel like this has been very emotional upheaval for you. And she's telling me that you're having trouble moving on from this. So there's two things that she's giving me. One thing is some sort of memory that she's given me. So I think this is maybe something that you did together or something. And then another thing is like a message. So the memory is something about cupcakes. So I don't know if you had cupcakes with her. She got you cupcakes. She just showed me cupcakes though. She also told me that you're very worried about your grandfather, and it's kind of like, it's almost like it's stressing you out a lot. And she's saying that it's like, I'm assuming the way that this is being brought up. So your grandfather, this woman that I'm connecting to, her husband, is he still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. So it kind of feels like it's really, this whole thing is really stressing you out. And for some reason, which I'm not really clear why, but your grandmother's telling me that you're very worried about him, and that it's something's bothering you about stuff with him. And so one of the things that she's kind of telling me is, and it's not like she's dismissing it, because that's not how they work. So it's not like she's saying, oh, well, whatever, just, shut up, there's nothing wrong with him. But she does want to say that, excuse me, that she's definitely helping with this. And I hear that everything's going to be okay. And I hear that everything is kind of being worked out the way that it's supposed to be. And I hear that, as far as what I'm picking up on and stuff, that your grandfather is kind of okay. And your grandmother is saying that, you're stressed about him. You will see him soon. But she's saying that you're kind of worked up about this. I also wanted to say too, that I keep seeing something with gardening. So I don't know who was the gardener or who did a lot of stuff with gardening, but I keep getting a feeling about something with gardening, somebody doing something with gardening. And I don't know if that makes sense to you at all, but did your grandmother do gardening?
No.
You might not remember. Did she have any connection at all to flowers?
I can't think of any.
Okay, so we'll just leave that. I don't know. It seems like a pretty simple thing that she would bring through, but I'm not sure she showed me flowers. And the other thing she's talking about too is it's interesting because with her passing, she doesn't really want to focus a lot on the details of her passing. She's telling me that it's more like, she's kind of moved on from that. And I feel like one of the things that she's saying is it's not going to help anything for me to for her to kind of go over kind of like, what you already know about with her passing. So this is, that's what she's saying. She says, I don't want to focus on my passing. That's not what I want to focus on. So she says that, everything's okay. And she, like I said, she is kind of watching over you and stuff. Now, I'm also seeing her with a gentleman. There's a gentleman on the other side with her that was connected to a farm. So I don't know who that is. I don't feel like it's anybody that you guys knew. But do you know who I would be picking up on with her over there? I almost feel like it's a relative of hers. Was there anybody that would had a farm, like maybe her dad or anything like that?
No, I can't think of anyone. We did have a grandfather on the other side who passed away.
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Jackson, stop that. Can you say that again? You have a grandfather on the other side?
Yeah.
Is that Ida's grandfather?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So her other grandfather that on her dad's side passed?
Just recently.
Okay. Did he have a farm?
No.
Did he do a lot of things? Did he grow up on a farm or anything?
No.
That's weird. I don't know. There is a man that I'm seeing with a farm though. Let me ask you this also. And like I said, I don't know. This could be somebody I can sense you guys are very nervous. So there might be some things that you're just not picking up on, but just remember I said that there is a guy that is coming through that is showing me, it looks like a farm or it's like a farm. I'm just going to stick with that. It's a farm. That's what I'm saying. I want to ask you also too, I just want to ask you this, Ida, before your grandmother passed, like just in life and stuff, I feel like with her, did you have a relationship where you would talk to her about different things, or could you confide in her or things like that? Is that something that is that true? Could you do that? Yes? Was that a yes?
Yeah, they were close.
So what I'm hearing is that your grandmother wants to give you a little bit of advice, because in life she probably would have, been the advice giving type or something like that. So what she's telling me, let me just see if I'm getting this right, because I don't want to say something and have it be sort of like you don't really understand it. Hold on. So she's saying that, let me just see here, hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting it right. It's really important, Ida, that you focus on school right now. I know that you have a lot of distractions going on because your grandmother is telling me that you feel pulled in a lot of different directions. But she's telling me that you're smarter than what your grades are showing right now. So I feel like she's saying that her granddaughter, your grandmother is saying that her granddaughter is very, very intelligent. She's very, very smart. She's talking about you. But she's saying if I looked at your grades right now, I wouldn't know that because you're and it's not that you're not smart or anything like that. And I feel like you're very, very intelligent. But I think with with everything that's going on, it's kind of pulling you in a lot of directions, and it's making you almost like depressed. And so it's kind of blocking you from doing really well with school. And your grandmother is telling me that, whether, whether it's fun or not, school is really important because it's the key to your future. And she feels that, if you don't, if you don't focus on this a little bit more, it's like, it's going to be kind of like an avalanche, if that makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing. So when I'm connecting with her, she's saying, just make sure that you are focusing on school right now. Ida, are you having a little bit of issues with school, just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But like I said, it's not because you don't have the inner ability to do stuff with your school. It's just because I feel like your energy is pulled in so many different directions right now. And so your grandmother is saying, instead of A's and B's, it's like D's and F's and C's because you're so distracted. You've got so much going on and stuff. But grandma says that your grandmother says that she's going to visit you and help you with that and stuff. I think you just have a lot going on and stuff. So they can actually, this is a good topic for everybody to know, because people will ask that, can they help with things? They can actually help you on the other side, believe it or not. They actually have an ability to help you. Now they can't, snap their fingers and make things happen, but they can definitely help you with certain things. So one of the things that I tell people is, just to trust in that, just to, invite that connection in. And the more you do that, the better it will be and stuff. So, okay, good. Let's go to our next person. So we'll and then, like I said, we'll do some questions. Thank you, Ida. Let's go to our next person. So we've got Julie. Can we get Julie and Jasmine? Jasmine.
Hi.
Hello.
So just my question was like, I'm just a little bit worried since the pandemic has hit. It's been really stressful on me and my family. And I was just wondering if you have any advice, because I've just been so confused with everything that has happened. It's really impacted my family's relationship, and I cry a lot about it, but sometimes I just don't understand, I just wanted to get some advice, I guess, on my family and everything.
Okay. So what is your first name?
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Okay. So Jasmine, this is interesting because as we're going through the readings, a lot of people are connecting with, grandfathers and mothers and fathers and, things like that. But I'm actually being told that you are here tonight to be a messenger for somebody else. That's not to say that you're not going to get, your own message from somebody too, but I just have to trust in the process. So somebody in your inner circle, I feel like it's probably one of your very close friends. There's somebody coming through for that person, which is sort of interesting. And this person's also shown me an M name. I don't know if that's his name or somebody else's name. I don't know what the M is, but I see an M. This guy passed, I think that you knew him. I think that you knew him, Jasmine, but it wouldn't have been somebody that you were super duper close to, but you did know him definitely, like from the community. And he passed about 3 to 6 months ago. He died from COVID. And he also was very connected to cars. So I don't know who this is. Do you have anybody that actually died from COVID?
I had like
We
a
had people be sick from COVID, but not really.
die. Yeah.
Not really died. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And then let me ask you this also. There's like a little cat that keeps coming through. Have you guys ever had cats?
No, we've just
No.
had a lot of dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah.
And let me ask you also too, Jasmine, how old are you?
I'm 12.
Okay. So one thing I want to tell you as far as, you know, I'm just what I'm picking up on. It's interesting. You have, you actually, it's interesting. One of the things that they're bringing through to me, or they're telling me, is that you are very protected in the spirit world. So you have a lot of, you're, you know, I mean, we all are to an extent, because that's what our guides and angels do, is they work on, you know, protecting us. But I just feel like I do need to tell you that you are being very watched over on the other side. And so I think in answer to your question, you know, when you were asking, you know, is there anything, you know, what's going on? I'm sort of stressed and things like that. I want to say that first off, you know, your guides and angels, and we'll go into a little bit more about who they are. But they are saying that your whole family is protected and stuff. So I think that you, and also too, you know, this energy with the pandemic has been very, very challenging. And so it's just kind of like a heavy energy for everybody to deal with, especially someone like you, because I actually see in my mind that you actually are like an empath. So part of the thing is that you actually do take on other people's energy. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I actually feel like you do take on certain people's energies and things like that. So it's just more about you. One of the things that's really important right now is to make sure that you are doing, you know, spiritual hygiene. So that is, you know, meditating, you know, making sure that you are, you know, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are, you know, that type of stuff. That stuff is really, really, really important. Because if you know, when you know, obviously when you do that, it's really important. So you just, you know, so just making sure that maybe you go an extra, you know, an extra level of just making sure that you actually are, you know, taking care of yourself and things like that. Because I feel like that's really, and sometimes people just don't pay attention to that, you know, and they don't really, and they kind of take a little bit, they kind of take it for granted. So that's just something that kind of came into my mind that would be important for you. Jasmine, I did feel like there's two energies that I'm feeling for you. One feels like a relative, and then one feels like a spirit guide. So I feel like one thing is you have a spirit guide that helps you a lot with your creativity. And I don't know if that's something, are you creative at all, Jasmine?
Yeah, I do like paint a lot and everything. Yeah.
Oh, you paint a lot?
Hmm.
Okay. So that might be something that's important, because I felt like they were showing me that you actually have a specific guide that works with you for your creativity stuff. So whatever, you know, if that's, you know, that's, you know, you actually have a guide that literally is working with you in that. So I feel like the more, and I think it's coming up when you're asking your question, because they're telling me that the more that you put time and energy into that, and the more that you actually, you know, make that a focus for you, and the more that, you know, you're doing that and stuff, the more that you're going to feel more, you're going to feel more of that and stuff. So I feel like that is, you know, that's something that they're just kind of, you know, bringing up and stuff like that. So just kind of know that that is coming up and stuff. Also, you actually have a hawk spirit guide. So this guide is interesting. This is a guide. It's a hawk, and usually a hawk spirit guide is basically what this guide is for knowledge. And so I don't know, I don't know if it, usually this guide appears when you're trying to bring forth knowledge, or you're trying to, connect to higher forms of knowledge. So I don't know if you're, it seems like you're kind of open to that, where you're trying to kind of like learn more and spiritually grow and things like that. So, and then there's also a spirit that I'm feeling here, that this feels like more like a relative. And it's a woman that I'm seeing. I'm getting the feeling that she was very sick prior to her passing. And she's giving me the feeling that, yeah, she was very sick prior to her passing. When I connect to her, she's telling me that she had trouble walking at the end. And I'm just wondering, I don't know, do you understand this at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just kind of see if I can go a little bit deeper with this, but because she's literally given me actually like pains in my leg too. So how do you understand this? It's a relative of yours, possibly?
Yeah, it's my aunt. She had MS.
Okay, so it would have been very painful to walk and stuff, right? Now, let me just ask you, did you know her too, Jasmine?
A little bit, but we weren't that close.
Okay. And I also see another thing here too. Actually, two other messages. So let me just ask you, Jasmine, are you doing anything where you're trying to focus on having different connections with your friends, or are you trying to make new friends? And also, are you having any issue with your brother?
Yeah, I have lately. I really miss him, honestly.
Oh, okay. So where does your brother, does he live far away from you or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't get to see him a lot or something?
No, I haven't seen him for a while, actually.
Is he older than you?
Yeah.
Okay. By several years?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because they're talking about something with your brother, that you're either worried about your brother, stressed about your brother. So maybe it's just that, maybe that you're not, you haven't seen him in a while and you miss him and stuff. I feel like you and him have a very strong bond. You and him have definitely have a very strong connection. And I feel like as I'm connecting and stuff, that I think that that's something that you guys will always have. There's also somebody that I'm picking up that's coming through that had stomach problems or stomach issues, or there's a female that I'm picking up with stomach issues or stomach problems. Do you understand that at all?
I mean, I had a friend in my old grade that had a really bad problem and had to like go to the hospital.
Oh, did she have stomach problems?
Yeah, she had a lot, actually.
Okay. So maybe I am picking up on her and stuff. Okay. All right. Well, we have a little bit more time with you. Do you have anybody that you want to ask me about? Do you have somebody in spirit you want to know about at all?
I wish I could just somehow talk to my like friend's father or someone who died of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Well, couldn't that be the person that came through that I was telling you about, that was your friend? Remember I told you that before, and you said that you didn't know anybody that died of COVID.
Yeah, it just came to mind now.
Oh, yeah. I think that's him, honey. Because there was a guy that came through. Did he die in the last few months?
Yes, he did.
Because he was telling me that remember I said there's a guy here that's coming through and he's connected to one of your friends and he died of COVID.
I thought you said relative. Sorry.
No, I specifically said it's not somebody that you're related to.
Oh,
I said I said it's somebody that you're friends with. I don't know if you were very close to him. And this is who I was picking up on the beginning. I couldn't understand why you didn't understand this person because he came right in. So Jasmine, you didn't know him that well, but you knew him through your friend, right?
yes.
And am I right in saying with your friend, she's in your inner circle. You're very close to her, right?
Yes, we just used to like hang out for hours and every day. It was really
What is her first name?
Her first name is
I'm just wondering, is it not the M name, right?
no, it's not an M name.
No, it's not an M name. Okay, because remember I said M before. You don't know if this guy's name is with an M, do you?
His name is, I'm pretty sure, Nicholas. Yeah.
No.
But I think he did go by Mark though.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, Mark.
Oh, yeah, he went by Mark?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, then that's, yeah. What was that, like a nickname or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably who I'm picking up on then. So yeah, that's who I'm probably picking up on. When did he die, like December or January?
December.
December, yeah, okay. I think this must be him then, yeah. So I think what he's talking about is that, and this might be something that's interesting for everybody. Even though this has really stressed you out a lot, and obviously we've all been dealing with very stressful times, I feel that it's interesting. I feel that what Spirit keeps telling me is that this is all like in a way meant to be. And this whole situation that we're going through, it's actually, there's healing that's happening. And what's happening is this is actually healing our planet. Even though it doesn't seem like that now, because it feels like there's so much, death and sadness and negativity, but there's a lot of healing that's actually happening because of this. So, and it is in a way definitely raising our consciousness. So just know that that's something that is out there too. So, okay, good. We're going to put you back on mute. And so now, guys, we're going to start with questions. So I don't know if we'll have a chance for everybody to do a question, but if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand or you can put it in chat and I can unmute you, or probably don't unmute yourself. So let's just see if we have, okay, so let's bring up, we've got Melanie. Okay, Melanie, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. You want to ask, or you want me to ask it? You want me to ask it? She's curious about when someone dies on someone else's birthday. So my grandmother died on my birthday. Her grandmother died on my son's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them actually have talked about it a lot, what they think that means or what it could possibly mean.
Usually that means that those souls are very connected. And so that's usually what that means, that there's some parallel with those souls. So even though it seems kind of strange, it actually is something that it is something that's actually a positive. It means those souls are very connected.
So her grandmother was very connected to my son. Is that what you're saying?
What that means, yeah, probably what that means, yeah.
Because that was her other question, that she wanted to know if her grandma could also see her brother.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the grandmother is around him a lot, but it feels like she, it feels like she feels that there's not always a, how do I want to say this?
They were very close.
It feels like the brother kind of blocks it out sometimes, but she is still around him a lot. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, he was supposed to participate tonight, and I think he got overwhelmed with emotion, and he decided not to. But they were extremely close.
Yeah. And that's probably why, you know, she was saying that and stuff, is that, you know, she does try to visit him. But again, it's harder if you're not that he's not open, but maybe if it's harder for him, he might have some walls up. So again, you know, meditation, prayer, that could be helpful for him. Let's go to another person here. Again, I don't know if we'll get to everybody, but we'll try to do a couple at least. Let's go to, we can do Julie Jones. I don't know who that was, let's just unmute them. Okay, did you guys have a question?
Jasmine does.
Yeah, so I know that I'm protected, and you said that I have a lot of angels around me, which makes me feel very comfortable. But I was just wondering with my brother, because I don't know if he's protected, because I know I am.
What's his first?
I'm just a little bit like worried with him, you know.
What's his first name?
I don't like to say his name, actually.
Or just the letters, fine.
It starts with a J.
J? Okay, hold on. Yeah, you know, one of the things that they're saying is that he is, he's very, he's a little stubborn, you know, so that's part of the issue with him a little bit. It's not that he doesn't, you know, he's very connected to you, but he is a little stubborn, I feel. And they're showing me that he has, you know, kind of a little bit of a stubborn energy. He is protected. And I also feel like too, because your energy is so focused on kind of helping him and stuff, that also has a very healing aspect for him. And so he has a lot of people, he is very watched over in the spirit world, I feel, for sure. So he is, you know, there definitely is, I feel a lot of people that are, watching over him, guiding him, making sure that he's okay. But I also feel like he is, you know, he's kind of on his own energy. And, you know, what spirit is saying is just that sometimes we just have to trust that somebody's on their own path, and that's in their highest good, even if it doesn't feel like it would be maybe the path that we choose, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm feeling about that. But good, thank you for that question. Let's do one from chat. So we've got Vicky has a question or something, so let's see if we can do that. Okay, let's bring you up, Vicky.
All right, Cash.
Your question.
Oh, yeah, I put it in text. I thought you might have seen it. Cash, do you want to ask or you want me to ask?
Me.
You want to ask? Okay, he wants to ask. Okay.
Okay, here is the first one. Who is mommy with on the other side?
Okay.
And then who helped her get to the other side? So it's kind of, you know, two parts of the same.
And the last one is she
at peace?
At peace.
Right. Okay, good. So, you know, I think some of this we had covered in your reading, but maybe we can elaborate a little bit. So one thing that came up is, yes, I do feel that she is at peace. I feel like when I connect to her, that she is, you know, she's telling me that she, you know, she actually wasn't at peace on this side. And so she's saying that it's not like a bad thing, but she's saying that she she had trouble being at peace on this side. So she is at peace on the other side. And she actually is showing me 2 white doves. And she's saying that that is her symbol for that she is, that she is at peace and stuff. Who is she with on the other side? Well, definitely Vicky, I think like we had said, your father.
My father. Okay.
There's also another person she's with that feels like a younger male.
Yeah, I
I'm not
figured.
sure who that is, but it's somebody that she's connected with over there that's very important to her.
My twins' father, he passed, and she was very close. He was like a father to her.
Yeah, so I think, and is he it, and so I think that, yeah, so that, she's definitely not alone over there, but she's also telling me too that she actually likes to spend some time kind of with, she actually likes to spend some time with, like, there's almost like a school place that she's showing me over there. And so she kind of is doing a lot of spiritual studying, and a lot, I feel like she's doing that too a lot.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see it. Okay.
Thank you very much. Go on to the next person. Just so we have time to do it. Let's see if we can. I don't think we can get to everybody because I have a, but we can see. So let's do Jen. Hi, Jen. Did you have a question?
Yeah. So, I wanted to know if spirits can come through like pets, because I have a cat who is like gives off the same traits that my grandma used to. And he's very attached to my grandfather, who was her husband. And he's like very attached to him, my dad. And he lays around this pillow that we have that has like her there.
It was her sweatshirt that we made into a pillow, and that's what he lays on. And we got him 3 weeks before she passed.
And did you get a cat? So you got the cat 3 weeks before she died?
Yep.
Okay. So the cat and her were on Earth at the same time? Okay. Right. So it wouldn't be a reincarnation, because obviously that wouldn't make sense because they were both here at the same time. But what this could be is something that I would call a soul transparency. So what this is when a soul, and they can do this with children, they can do this with other people. I had a client this morning who feels that her therapist, that her mother kind of comes through her therapist and stuff. So they can do that. They can do that. And the basic.
I'm sorry, as you were talking about that, he came just walking up to Abby and was like rubbing on her.
Yeah. So they have a way of doing that. And animals are fine with participating in that. They'll do it sometimes with newborn babies. And sometimes people will get confused and they'll feel that it's a reincarnation. It's not a reincarnation. It's just the soul, one soul, I don't want to say using, but utilizing another soul to kind of get it to connect and kind of opening that door and stuff. So that's what I think that is from. And yeah, so it's I don't think it's, it's just, that's what it is. So yeah, it's definitely, it's something that happens and stuff. And I've heard of it happening before. I would say it's a positive thing. And I would say it's something to, excuse me, to encourage. And I don't think it's definitely not a bad thing at all. So, yeah, so it's definitely not a bad thing at all. So, yes, Vicky, that sounds like something that it could be from us. What you can do is just check the email address, as long as it's coming from Thomas@mediumthomas.com, or you can, or info@mediumthomas.com. You can, but it sounds like it's something from us, so you can just check I don't know if that's still available. That might be something from the past now, but you could always check. But yes, there's a lot of weird, scam emails that go out. I just had a thing this morning that was saying that it was my Instagram was hacked, but it was a fake thing. So just always check, as long as it says info@mediumthomas.com or thomas@mediumthomas.com, then that is obviously from us. Let's see here. And if you want to, I can even send you an email. I can actually write down to make sure to email you. So I'll actually write that down so that way you have it. Okay, so I'll put that in my thing here. Okay. We can do, so let's do. Let's do Cherie and Everett. Let's do Everett. So Everett, do you have a question you want to ask?
So he wanted to ask these questions, but he's a little embarrassed or shy about it.
Well, go ahead and ask. Yeah, I saw there was a few. We probably have time for one. So go ahead and pick one that you want.
Well, he wanted to know if his daddy helps him with karate and if he shows up as any kind of an animal.
Did his dad study karate?
Yes.
I feel like he does. I always tell people when there's a parallel thing like that, or when there's something that would connect them to that, like I would say if the dad didn't really study karate, that wouldn't make any sense. But if he does, then that's going to make sense because he
had a black belt.
Yeah. So it's just like if somebody says, can my dad help me with finances? Well, if he was good with finances, that stays in his energy. So I would say yes. But if it's like, somebody wasn't good at that, they're not going to just go to the other. So yes, I feel like he does. I also am getting the sense that that's a very spiritual thing. And so I think that, there's a way that there's a connection and stuff like that, but he does help me with that. And he says that the karate is really good for him and it's helping him with, kind of processing stuff and some of his anger and things like that. So I think it's actually a really good thing for him. So I feel like the father is saying, Everett, for you to continue with that, and hopefully that you will. So, okay, guys, we actually have to wrap up for the evening because we've been on here for about over 2 hours. So we just need to wrap up for today. I want to thank you guys so much. This was a new experience for me as well. So I enjoyed meeting you all. Thanks for being here. We'll send you this recording this week. And I will hopefully see you in the future or talk to you in the future in some way. And God bless and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Thomas.
Bye.